Okay, y'all, let's have a real conversation, especially because of my previous posts and the organizations that are doing this work. Because this isn't about calling people out, it's about calling people up. What I had to say in my previous posts and videos was not calling someone out specifically at all. It's just something that's deeply been on my heart. If we're serious about helping survivors of human trafficking, then we have to be honest about what's not working, right? Funding alone does not equal impact, and programs alone do not equal transformation. So, if survivors are leaving programs and going right back to survival mode in some sense, then we have to ask ourselves as an organization why that's happening. Because if it's happening to majority or even half of the survivors you're serving, then there's got to be a reason why. Don't blame them. Look at the gaps in your services and do that honestly and with integrity, and ask yourself, are we offering long-term support? Are we trauma informed like we say we are? Have we been trained in how to be trauma informed in all aspects of trafficking? Are we equipped to work with survivors and, you know, actually understand this accountability? Because when we look at our own accountability, we understand that not every survivor's story looks the same. And if we don't understand that, then we're going to completely miss how the best way is to for us to assist them in that capacity. This work requires a lot of humility and understanding. It requires listening. It requires learning from the survivor and not just speaking for them or assuming that you know how they feel or what they've been through. Because, again, not every survivor's story is the same. So, this is my personal call to action. Let's build programs that don't just look good on paper, but actually walk with survivors in real life. Let's collaborate instead of compete with each other, because that's what I've seen in the almost the past decade, is that every single survivor leader almost, and every single survivor organization, everybody's in competition. Nobody collaborates with each other unless they click with each other because of their traumas being the same or very similar. And as far as organizations, I've seen every organization siloed in a sense. And that's not okay, because it should be us collaborating and working together. So let's collaborate instead of compete. Let's stay with survivors even when it's hard, even when they call you in the middle of the night because they're stuck in a hotel room because they've done relapsed and decided to go back to the lifestyle. Stay when it's hard. Be there for them and walk with them through that. Let's measure success by lives that are sustained in every aspect possible, and not just the numbers that you report on paper, because this is people's lives. These are not statistics, and we can all do better. Something else I wanted to add is that some of the most successful programs that I know of, they have a very specific demographic of survivors that they work with, because that's what their staff have also experienced and healed from. So you have survivor led organizations of specific types of trafficking who are serving that same demographic, because we've seen that that's what works. So if you're serving all types of trafficking survivors, everything from labor to sex to, you know, uh, child trafficking to familial trafficking to pimp control trafficking, intimate partner violence, all those things, if you are not serving the specific demographic of survivors that you know how to help and walk with them through their healing journey, then sometimes that's why we miss it. Okay, so I do want to honor those survivor led organizations who are working with a very specific demographic of survivors, because those are the ones that I personally have seen that have been the most effective. So, for that, thank you guys.